Rent-A-Girlfriend is a pretty funny show overall, and has a lot of great characters overall. So it also has this unique quality to it, because not only do we discover Best Girl in the first episode, but we also know that she's going to win in the end, which is very rare for an anime. But Rent-A-Girlfriend's comedy is actually great. It's cringy, but in a good way, and it makes you want to come back for more each week, which is great because that's exactly how a show needs to be written now. At the time of writing this video, I've only seen 5 episodes, but in these 5 episodes, I have completely fallen in love with the show, to the point that I had to make a video on it. The animation in the show isn't anything special, but it works for what it is, because this show really doesn't need anything super fancy, because it's not like we're getting some amazing fights or anything. But there are really some moments that stand out as great, like in episode 5, during and after Chizuru resuscitates Kazuya, it looks amazing, and afterwards, when she's going through her thoughts, we can really see the emotional shift in her, which is honestly really cool. Also, a lot of good stuff with Mami, like when we're introduced to her, we can see a lot of emotional changes in both Chizuru and Mami, with just subtle animation, before it gets to the actual confrontation, which is actually amazing. But again, for the most part, the animation is nothing really special. There are just a few standout moments that really show a lot of great character moments. The story of Rent-A-Girlfriend is kinda unique in that it talks about a guy who literally rents this girl to be his girlfriend, but then they eventually fall in love for real, which is cool because we don't get to see a lot of anime talk about that side of Japan, because yes, those services are real, and yes, they're hilarious. But the story is a cool one so far, as we get a lot of funny and hilarious moments from the grandmothers and from some of the other side characters. The story itself has only been allowed to proceed up to this point because Chizuru and Kazuya's grandmothers are friends, and they think of course that they're dating each other. And so in order not to disappoint their grandmothers, they have kept up this facade, but they are going to end the facade before the events of episode 5 happened, which just changed everything for Chizuru, and I really think that's cool so far, as all the events help the story of Rent-A-Girlfriend. The characters in Rent-A-Girlfriend so far are all pretty good. There's a lot of good dynamics between all the characters that make things interesting. Even the side characters are pretty good, and really help the main characters develop, which is weird coming from a rom-com show, but it's true. I remember in episode 4 that amazing speech Kazuya's friend gave to Chizuru about how Kazuya isn't really a bad guy and it's just a little misunderstood and weird. That isn't the whole speech, but it really helped not only Chizuru, but us also see our lame, idiotic protagonist a little bit differently, which I thought was very cool actually. The grandmothers are actually the best characters so far, specifically Kazuya's grandmother Nagami. She's hilarious, always causing more problems for both Chizuru and Kazuya, because they don't want to disappoint her, as I mentioned earlier. But I love how she uses a lot of sly tricks to put Kazuya and Chizuru in a lot of stupid and funny situations that just make a lot of things worse for them. Like in episode 5, she put both Kazuya and Chizuru in the same room together, without telling them of course, and that brought on some funny conversations between the two. But I also love how dearly Nagami cares not only for her grandson but also for Chizuru. She really cares and loves them, and you can definitely see that because she plays all those jokes on them in a lighthearted manner because she cares, but there are also a lot of moments where she actually gets very serious, especially when talking to Chizuru. Like again, in episode 5, they share a moment in the bath when Chizuru says, what if she was lying about the relationship? But then Nagami says that nobody goes throughout life without lying, and that she would still love her, even if she was an alien, which is really cool and shows that she really cares. And I just absolutely love a character like that exists in a stupid rom-com anime. Can I just say that Mami is a real bitch? All she has done so far in the story is play around with Kazuya's feelings, and it's not because she's jealous or anything, it's just that she's a bitch. When we first see her, we instantly know that she doesn't care for Kazuya in the slightest, and that her only real goal is to make sure that he is unhappy, always trying to chase her and never getting her. But thankfully her plan has failed, but that doesn't mean that she won't continue to try. In episode 5, she knew that he was hanging out with Chizuru, and so she called him to try to take him away, but then Chizuru fell off the boat that they were on, and so he jumped in after, which has obviously propelled his feelings towards Chizuru, and away from Mami, which is good, because she's a bitch. The art style is actually really pretty, all of the characters look nice, and the backgrounds look great. The lighting really helps in bringing everything to life as well, which of course is great. This show honestly just looks great. Though it's not one of the best looking shows out there, but it does definitely look really good. I don't have anything to really say about it. The music is amazing, it really helps a lot in setting up certain scenes and making them better. The OP is really good, not just musically, but I mean come on, cute anime girls dancing, yeah, that's definitely a good OP. The music is something that I can listen to and enjoy outside of the show, which of course is awesome, and makes everything a whole lot better. And the music isn't over the top in any way, and it just really helps in setting up everything to be a perfect mess of a rom-com show, and I absolutely love it. Rent-A-Girlfriend overall is a really funny show that looks great. This year hasn't been all that great for anime, which sucks, but there have definitely been some good shows out there, like this one, making this year not all that horrible. But I think the show is definitely worth watching, because you won't be disappointed. It is funny, looks good, and has good music. Those are like the 3 basic things that are needed to make a good rom-com show.